You're on mute.
Matt, you're on mute.
Yep. Well, thank you. Well, we're just going to roll right into questions here for Chase Elliott. And our first question will come from Kelly Crandall. Go ahead with your question, Kelly.
Thank you. Hey, Chase. With the regular season that Kevin and Denny have put together and the bonus points that they have over everybody else, does it feel like it's almost a battle for 2 spots in the Final Four instead of all 4 being wide open?
Not necessarily. Those guys certainly have had a phenomenal year for sure. So they're very deserving of their bonus points and all the things they've acquired. But, yeah, we race for a reason, and heck, who knows? There's so many variables and things that can happen that, they have an abundance of points for sure. And are they likely to go to Phoenix? Absolutely. Do I think they deserve to be in the Final Four? Yes, I do. I think they definitely deserve to be. But with the way this points deal is, you can have a bad couple races or, a bad few stages, and next thing you know, guys have made up 30, 40 points on you pretty quick. So it can certainly shift gears in a hurry.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Jeff Gluck. Go ahead with your question, Jeff.
Hi, Chase. Who is a dark horse or a surprise team that you think could make a run that people should watch for in these playoffs?
That's a good question. I really don't know. I'm not sure on that. I think if you make the final 16, and you hit on something at the right time, that can carry you an awful long way. So I don't know who to tell you, but I think that there's a lot of very talented drivers and teams who, if you get on the right thing at the right time, you can make a serious run at stuff.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Pete Iacobelli. Go ahead with the question, Pete.
Hey, Chase. It seems like we've come a long way racing-wise since the last time you guys were.
I can't hardly hear you.
Yeah, Pete, you're cutting out. Text me your question. We'll get it asked. We're gonna move on to our next question, which will come from Mark Garrow. Go ahead with your question, Mark.
Thank you. Thanks for the time, Chase. Are you far enough along in your career now where you've been there and done all that so that almost anything that could be thrown at you in this playoff, you've been there, done that, and are able to handle it or seen a pass?
Did you ever worry back before those first races that we
must have to
would not be able to get to this point? Did you have questions about the return?
We'll start with Pete's question first, Chase. Pete was asking, did you ever think we would get to this point after the restart and with all the challenges that COVID-19 presented?
I think I was for sure skeptical that we were going to, even have a season when all this started. So yeah, I'm super happy that we're have a chance to race and we're able to do what we're doing. I know it's a little different, but we're still able to put on races each week and still able to compete and put on a good product on TV. So, I think for the most part, all's been good, and I'm encouraged that we've had a chance. I feel like NASCAR was kind of leading the charge on getting back going, which was encouraging to be a part of too.
Awesome. And then Mark, go ahead and restate your question, buddy.
I was just wondering at this point, Chase, you're well into your career at this point, and you've been through the playoffs before, been there, done that. Do you feel like with all the experience you have now, whatever's thrown your way, you'd be able to handle the circumstance?
I'd like to think so for sure. We've never made the round of 4, so that's an area that we've never been in. So some of that stuff until you get there, it's really hard to know what to expect. So would love to be a part of that last race and that last event, and really make a run at it and do that. But that's I feel like that's the thing we haven't been able to accomplish is make that last race. So that's the goal.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Dustin Long. Go ahead with your question, Dustin.
Chase, of the experiences you've had in the playoffs, obviously last year you were in the second round, more than 20 points behind in the cutoff, and had the really strong run at Kansas in advance. I'm just curious, just in that particular example, what you kind of learned out of that experience of, obviously a lot of people probably, writing you off at being 20 points out going into the last race, and you were one of the ones that advanced. How you handled that and from that.
Yeah, it was certainly encouraging. It was a combination of a couple things. I mean, our competitor that we were racing there happened to have a bad restart there at the end of the race, and we happened to have a good one. And that was the point difference that it took to get through. So to me, it just kind of shows you that it's not over until it's over in a lot of those cases, and points can swing really fast one way or another, especially with these stages and giving out stage points throughout this. Throughout all these races, throughout all the whole year. So just knowing how fast it can swing, and a stage win or two can boost you head and shoulders above somebody else, or to catch up, if you need to. So I just look at it as just not being done until you're out.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from John Newby. Go ahead with the question, John.
Hey, Chase. Thanks for joining us today. So of the upcoming 3 races, Bristol, Darlington, Richmond, which one are you most excited for or nervous about based on an opportunity to find more success or improvement where you need?
Yeah, I'm excited about all of them. That this is an exciting part of the year, in my opinion. I really enjoy this time of year. It's fun. It's pressure packed, I feel like, in a lot of ways. And it's an exciting product for people to watch with the way these rounds eliminate people. So, I look forward to all of them. Like I said, Richmond to me has been a big time struggle since I've been in Cup. So I would really like to get better there. That one has been a problem. So hopefully we're a little better there than we've been in the past, because it's not been pretty.
Gotcha. Thank you, sir.
Our next question will come from Gabe McDonald. Go ahead with your question, Gabe.
Hey, Chase. So you've been named, one of the most popular drivers in NASCAR recently, and obviously last time, no fans in Darlington. How nice is it going to be to have fans this time around?
Yeah, it was super weird not having fans there, and obviously that was the first one back, so it was, a very odd environment to be in. As we've gone on this year, things have become a little more normal in that sense, as much as I hate to say that. But we've been kind of getting used to not seeing so many people at the track. But happy to have folks back in a small capacity this weekend, and hope that we can put on a really good race for them.
Our next question will come from Jeff Magliachetti. Go ahead with your question, Jeff.
Good afternoon, Chase. Thank you for joining us. How fortunate is it that you guys will have the pole for the race this weekend, leading the field to the green, especially in a nice little throwback scheme that's a tribute to Jimmy Johnson?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. The car looks great. What a cool opportunity to drive one of Jimmy's paint schemes. One of my favorites, too, that I remember watching him in. So I think that's really cool. Starting spot's great. Great to get the pole. It's always an encouraging thing. I think even a bigger deal to have that first pit box, which is super valuable. So hopefully we're fast enough for it to matter, and we can put that thing to use.
Thanks, Chase. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
Our next question will come from Koki Riley. Go ahead with the question, Koki.
Thank you. So I was just wondering, we may be months away from the final playoff race this season in Phoenix, but I just wanted to hear what you believe makes Phoenix Raceway a unique racing experience.
Yeah, I mean, Phoenix is a unique track in general. We don't really go to anywhere else that's shaped like that, and has the 2 different corners be like they are. It's very kind of an awkward shaped track. But yeah, it's made for exciting races over the years, and I expect it'll do that again this trip.
Our next question will come from Michael Shelton. Go ahead with your question, Michael.
Thank you very much. Well, Chase, you've won 4 out of the last 6 road races, including this year at the Daytona Road Course. Of course, last year you won at the Roval. This year, the Roval will be in the round of 12. I'm just wondering, how do you attribute your success on the road courses? And with Charlotte in the round of 12, do you feel that that gives you a little bit of an advantage heading into this year's playoffs?
I'm not sure that I feel like it gives us an advantage, but yeah, I've been fortunate to have some really good runs there. I think that the Daytona deal went really good, which was nice. But yeah, I'm sure everybody's going to be getting better, as they always are. So I hope we're improved from what we were last year, and we can step up our game and have a good run.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
Our next question will come from Mitchell Brewer. Go ahead with the question, Mitchell.
Chase, stat-wise, this has probably been one of your best seasons to date. Do you feel like you're the most confident you've been heading into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a good question. Somebody told me that earlier, which I was kind of surprised by that. I feel like, we had some really good runs at the beginning of the year. Then I feel like we kind of got into a little bit of a dip there over the last, couple months. And then I thought Dover was back competitive again. So I think for me, I just look at a little bit of the inconsistency. I think we need to be more consistent across the board. Encouraged by the fact that when I feel like we have things going, we can compete for wins at a lot of different style racetracks, which I think is awesome. So that definitely gives me confidence. But this deal is all about what has happened lately, what your performance has been up to this date, and what you have ahead to try to improve on and how much you need to improve. So right now I'm just thinking about had a good run at Dover. I thought a fast car, and that was a style racetrack that I felt like is more in the direction of the 1.5 miles. So I look at that and I'm encouraged, and I have confidence, like I said, that when things are good, I think we can compete with whoever. So I think from that side, it's a good thing.
Our next question will come from Kelvin LaPierre. Go ahead with the question, Kelvin.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Chase, for taking some time out today. Just going to the playoff format with the qualifying not being a thing. You guys start playoffs starting the top 16. You're starting on the pole this weekend. And with track position being all that much more important, how important is it to really continue to have a strong finish at the end of a race, not necessarily at the start, knowing that your qualifying position could be based on the top 16 and not being really involved in anything that could happen in the middle of the field early on in a race?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the qualifying thing and the way that formula works, it just rewards people for performing. So performing is basically just helping you at the next event, which I think is a very fair way to do it. If you run well, you run fast, you have a good finish, you're going to have a good starting spot the next week. And that's as fair of a thing that we could do without qualifying.
Thanks, Chase. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
Our next question will come from Bob Pockers. Go ahead with the question, Bob.
Yeah, Chase, does it, and if so, how much weigh on you that you haven't made the championship for? I mean, is that one of those things that you're like, man, that you think about all year, or, it's just one of those things that, it's the playoffs and things happen?
I mean, well, it's the goal, right? I mean, you can't win the championship without making that Final Four, and that's been that point of the playoffs that we haven't been able to bust through yet. So, I feel like we've been really close at times to doing it. I think we're very capable of making the Final Four. So at the end of the day, if me being confident and knowing that we can do it, and my team knowing that is the case, and it is, then I think that's really, really all that matters to me. But certainly the goal, if you want to win a championship, that you don't have an option. You got to make it. So we know that, and I look forward to the challenge.
Our next question will come from Cole Cusimano. Go ahead with your question, Cole.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, Chase. So historically, you've run really well at Phoenix. You had one of the best cars in the spring this year. So how do you feel about your chances should you make the championship 4? And how did you feel when the championship race moved from Homestead to Phoenix?
Yeah, well, I think it's a good thing that it's moving around. I think that that's a big plus. I think just for our sport, and it moving from track to track. So excited that it moved. And yeah, luckily we had a good run there at the beginning of the year. A lot's changed since then, though, too, I feel like, and people being better, and competitors improving. So certainly think we'll have some work to do when we go back. But yeah, I hope we're a part of the Final Four for it to matter, and hope we can take what we had there in the spring and make it better for that last race, if so.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thanks.
Our next question will come from Ashley McCubbin. Go ahead with your question, Ashley.
You ran well at Darlington before, including this spring. How much does that add to your confidence, and what's the toughest challenge of Darlington?
Yeah, we had a couple good runs there, I thought, in those first 2 races back, which was nice. Again, like I said a second ago, I think a lot's changed since then, so I'm really curious to see how we stack up this go around. But Darlington's always kind of one of those things where the 2 ends of the racetrack are just so different that it's hard to get them both perfect. But it happens, and people do it all the time, and I look forward to trying again.
Our next question will come from Marty Sakala. Go ahead with your question, Marty.
Thanks, Matt. Chase, congratulations on making the playoffs once again. Kind of jumping off of Mitchell and Bob's questions. When it comes to playoff points every year, you seem to be improving. You've got 20 coming in, most you've had since stage racing was invented. Do you think you'll have enough playoff points to go all the way to the championship 4, or do you think you'll need some more stage wins and maybe a race win or 2?
I mean, I think that it all kind of depends on who does what, right? If we were starting the round of 8 right now and we were advanced that far and the points were just like they were, I think that we have enough to make it if we run well. But starting here fresh, still a lot of opportunities for race wins, guys to earn bonus points. So the way I'm going to view it is that we're going to need more. And frankly, if you're not contending for wins regularly, it doesn't really matter anyway. So I think that for us, we need to get some more stage wins, some more race wins, and keep stacking it on.
Thanks, Chase. Good luck to you this weekend.
Thanks.
And our final question for Chase is going to come from Dustin Long. Go ahead with your question, Dustin.
Chase, with NASCAR having the rule where if you test positive, you're going to miss a race, not changing it from what it was in the regular season. Obviously, you guys have had to live in a bubble. What do you have to do more? Is there anything more you have to do in terms of protecting yourself over the next 10 weeks because of what's at stake at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that I've thought about that some for sure. And just being smart, trying to wash your hands, do all the things that we're supposed to be doing. And from that standpoint, that's really all we can do, right, is do the things that they've put out there for us and try to be smart about who you're around and the environments you're in. So, from my end, I'm going to certainly try to think about some of that stuff some more and try to be as smart as possible. And, hope for the best. I think that's really all we can do.
Well, Chase, thanks for taking the time to join us, and good luck in the playoffs.
All right, thanks.
Okay, and our next driver will be on our second Zoom link. So if you want to go back to NASCARmedia.com and